Hello, friends. I gotta say, it is so good to be back here in the studio. I have been on many adventures, and if you've seen my latest video, you have seen the embroideries at the Victoria and Albert Museum, which were amazing. I had so much fun looking at those, and I was so excited to have you all to share them with. So I hope that you have enjoyed that. It's not a super long video, maybe 15 minutes, but my goodness, are there some incredible works of art there. And now I'm back. All right, so today I was out for a little while, and one of my kind of go-to little antique malls around here that was in a very small place just expanded to a brand new store with tons of space, and I was so happy for them, and I wanted to go down and check out their new space. So I have a few things that I collected there, and I thought I would share them with you. And I'm also going to put in a little bit of footage of the space and some information. If you happen to be local to Florida, you can go check out their antique mall. They've got all kinds of stuff. This was one of the things I got. So I'm curious, when you are out and about looking at things, looking at estate sales or antique malls, what are some of the things besides vintage linen that you are looking for? I look for little brooches because I can use them on my books. I could use it as a closure. I could use it as a decoration. Sometimes it will appear, like in this one, as a little we have a little bookmark with a dangle on it. You never know how, there's a little button. You just never know how they might show up. So I keep an eye out for little pieces of jewelry. Brooches are the easiest to work with, but earrings work too, and other little things. I also generally keep my eye out for little bowls because I love having them around me. Perhaps I will show you a few of my others. So, little bowls, I found this for a few dollars, and I just really thought it was pretty. I like flower bowls, they're pretty. So I grabbed that while I was out. So sometimes I find things that are not fabric, but the main thing, of course, is vintage linens and fabric. So I wanted to share a few things that I got at Amanda Ann's Antique. I think that's what she's going by. Okay, one thing I picked up was a little bag of some vintagey lace. I have quite a bit of lace, but if I see something that I can just imagine on a project that I am currently working on, sometimes I'll go pick it up for the right price. And this was definitely a good deal. So I have this kind of lace, and then they had this kind as well. And I love that. It's a little wider. I just can imagine that on so many different things. And there was a bunch of that kind, and then a little bit of this one. So that was a good find. Then vintage hanky, which I love. Not great condition, but we all know that this is what I'm really interested in. Beautiful roses. So I love that. I think I actually have one similar, so could even pair them. But that could make a great little closure on a purse. It could make a great pocket in a journal. So many options. So I got that. Then I found, I loved this. Look at that. Antique-y kind of just little cross-stitched needlepoint rose. Love this design. It's just very cool looking. And I like that there's like random squares of different colors. I just really like the look of that. So I got that little piece. And then, okay, then there was a vendor there who had a few little remnants of different fabrics. And I love these. Look at how colorful that is. And it's plenty of fabric to do all kinds of things with. I could see stitching on that or not. I like it just how it is. So I got that little piece of fabric, and I mean, it was like $1 or something. You know, yeah, could you get a better deal? Sure, but I don't know where I would see that again. And then I got this one. So this is a 2016 fabric, Mirage by Alex Anderson. I just liked it, and I could see these two together. That, maybe even this in there. So that looked like a great little project, and it's just the right amount of fabric. So that was fun. Then look at this runner. Okay, so we have, again with the craft math. Okay, so it might have been a little more than like a couple dollars, but look at it. It's, for one thing, in beautiful condition. So it's something I could just use. We've got these little hearts of small, I think these are just straight stitches. Again, it's sometimes hard to tell if something started off in life as a lazy daisy and then evolved into a straight stitch when it comes to these little flowers. Love that design too. You know, and I'm always just thinking of design, you know, wow, that is really effective, with 6 little tiny French knots, a 7th in the center, the little leaves. And I love that it's in a heart. So cute. So if I wanted to use this, and it is stained, so I might end up using it by, you know, harvesting some of this off. I've got a million little flowers to use in projects. I've got fabulous crocheted edging. And then I've got 4 of these hearts. And yes, it's stained around here, but that's okay. Can try it to get the stain out. It probably is set. It's in really nice shape otherwise, so I'm guessing it was well taken care of. So probably somebody's already tried, but I can try to get the stains out. That's just always something to think about. But, you know, 4 of those hearts, a whole bunch of little flowers, and price per project starts to come down to very, very little per. Is that how your brain works? Okay, but the other thing I found that I was really excited to share with you was a bag of fabrics. So this bag of linens, I have not yet looked in. I kind of took a little peek, but that was it, and I did not really look through it. They did not ask much for this entire bag, so let's check out what we got. Okay, first item. Oh, wow. This, I believe, is a tablecloth. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm gonna move over our bundle so that we can properly appreciate. Look at this. It is a cross-stitched tablecloth with 1, 2, 3, 4 large roses and 4 little sprigs of buds, and then all of these. I love that. For a while, I wasn't as crazy about the look of a cross-stitched flower, but I've come to really appreciate it. I think it just looks really interesting. Has texture kind of built in. And then we've got this crocheted lace all around the edge. This is a beautiful piece. I gotta say, this is almost worth the price I paid for the whole bag. Wow. And it's in nice shape. Okay, so that's one. Let's see what's next. All right. We have some kind of very stained, but oh, well, that's fun. It's just a little piece of Christmas fabric on a very stained old piece of some kind of cotton. Well, who knows? I might use that in a design for Christmas. You know, and if nothing else, I've got interesting staining, which I know, right? Do other people see that as interesting little? Yes, they do. I know you. You're all out there. Okay. All right. Moose, maybe not so much my thing, but could I see that on something? It's kind of a vintagey, I'm guessing like maybe 80s, maybe 90s little guy. Moose with bird and nest. You know what? That would make a really cute little pillow for a kid's room or something. So who knows? Okay, so we've got a couple of Christmas designs. I'm going to put those aside. I do have a separate area for all of my Christmassy designs, just so I can find them. Okay, now we've got autumn. Okay, again, it's a little more like crafty fabric than I usually go, but it's a pumpkin. It's cute. And then the background fabric is actually really nice. you know, it just feels cool. It's a cotton. That is definitely useful. So we've got different, oh, and look, a little other pumpkin on the back. He's cute. Okay, actually, let's see how many pumpkins we've got. We've got 3 individual pumpkins. The 4th is here, and then a little card. So that's cute. Okay, and they're already have been blanket stitched around the edges, which that's kind of a fun little detail. All right, so a little bit more fall fabric there. Let's see. What else have we got? Okay, another fall one, this time a scarecrow. Another pumpkin. Let's see. We don't have extra pumpkins on this one. A little scarecrow. So what would you use this for? Like, I could see cutting it out and actually just making a little pillow in that shape. That would be a little novelty pillow. What else? Ideas? Put them below because I'm interested. All right, so 2 fall fabrics. 1, 2. Okay, we've got another Christmassy guy. Oh, now we've got the moose and the snowman. They can have a whole set. Same moose, snowman. I guess these are, I don't know if, I guess they're like little table covers. Maybe they're towels. Okay, so we've got that set of 3 for Christmas. We've got 2 for fall. All right, 1 more like that, summer. Oh, this is kind of fun. It's it's just random ketchup bottle, corn on the cob, and that's it. That's fun. I actually really like that. And then we've got some condiments. Oh, look, it's a skewer with various vegetables on it. Again, the piece of fabric it's on is incredibly useful. And then we've just got these appliques of random vegetables and ketchup. So summer, 1 summer one. Okay. All right. These are not as much my style, but I can certainly use them. Or if I don't feel like I'm going to, I will pass them on to another thrift store. And I know that somebody will totally use those. Okay. Now I'm going to get into a couple more so these are also in there. Okay, this is more my style because it looks so cool and vintage. This is, okay, that is fabulous. So this is just the pattern. I don't think it's been stitched. Let's see, did they stitch anything? No, they just drew this on. Okay, that is fun. I would totally complete that. It is just a drawn-on design of a rooster with a chick. That is really cute. Okay, so I totally plan to complete that. And it's very aged. I mean, it's definitely got a lot of kind of, you know, discoloration along the lines. So that has been packed away for who knows how long. Thank you for coming home to me because I will love stitching you up. I'm loving this use of the flowers within that design. That's really cute. I could see doing that on another design, maybe like a dog or a cat. That'd be kind of fun. Okay, I love that. So that's gonna need to be finished. Okay, and we've got a bunch more. So we've got a his, same design. Guessing we've got a hers somewhere around here. Well, we'll look and see. Okay, so his, I mean, this is also a rooster, obviously, not a chicken. So, is the hers on here? No, just his. Okay, those are cute and well worth finishing. All right, then we have, okay, so all of these are just, they're not stitched yet. But I don't mind that. That's a fun little project. Because I'm just loving these designs. That is so random. So it's what? He's a cucumber? No, cucumbers don't have leaves coming out. What is that vegetable? Anyway, and then a potato? A potato in a very cute pink dress. All right. These certainly need finishing. What else do I have? Okay, another one. Vitamin Ballet. Okay, that is so random. What is this, like the 50s, I think? Oh, you know what? That might be I bet that's a celery, even though it looks kind of solid. I bet it's just celery gathered together. Same as here. We've got a radish, a carrot, and some celery having a dance with musical notes and Vitamin Ballet. I don't know. Kind of awesome. You know, there's a thing about being in contact with other parts of history is that you come across things that, you know, are not our design, but they're just kind of fun. Okay, here's hers. We found hers. So that is a super cute set. And the fabric has some discoloration, but because it's not been used, it wasn't even finished, they're in really good shape. So I will probably, I have to think, maybe a pillow set? That would be really cute. Have to think about that. Okay, I am thrilled with that because it's so random. Okay, and to finish it off, we have more dancing vegetables. We have a garden waltz. And it's a radish, a carrot, and a baby carrot, and a baby radish. There they are. I bet you had no idea when you came on here that there would be so many dancing vegetables. I too had no idea. But there we are. With these pieces, not totally sure what I'll use them for, but I like them. I think I will stitch them out and just see what they look like. And yeah, let's just kind of, it's kitschy. You know, maybe even like a panel on a backpack or something. I could see that. I could see that. All right. So all of these fabrics were in that one package. And these random things too. So definitely some stuff I will use. Definitely some stuff I might not use, but that's okay. While I have you here, one more thing that I got in the mail today that I thought you might enjoy seeing. So I went on a website, My Favorite Quilt. I'll post it below. The reason was because I was in England, I was feeling very drawn to Liberty fabrics. And of course, I did not have time to actually go to a fabric store and, you know, look for them or go downtown in London and look at them. But I went online and I found this place that had just some little cuts of Liberty fabric for a great deal. So I got this little, you know, charm pack of Tree of Life berry botanicals. And I have an idea already for what I'm going to use some of this for. So, you know, usually I am upcycling, but occasionally I buy new fabric. And this was one of those times where, look at, I mean, I love a charm pack because you instantly have, what is it, like 4 of each design? So usually 42 total. And what you have is a set that automatically goes together. What I'm planning to do with these is to cut out some petals and make maybe even a whole garden of flowers. And I think that I might use it for my pouch for Kate in the Nest, or I may use it for a bag for an event where I promised I would make them a bag for them to have in their silent auction, which, you know, the fact that they want one of my bags for their silent auction, you know, that's cool. I am happy to donate. So check out all of these patterns. Look how cute these are. I'm loving this little lion. He's so cute. Okay, but we've got all these fantastic coordinating fabrics. If you are brand new to the world of slow stitching like I was, you know, 9 months ago, and you're not a quilter, as I also was not a quilter, not a sewer, just kind of stumbled into this world really last summer. Because before that I started embroidering, which was amazing, but I had not discovered some of these other things that are tangentially related. Okay, so, you know, I don't know about all the packages of fabrics and stuff. And as I said, I love to upcycle fabrics. I mostly get fabrics at estate sales and things like that, but, or, you know, scrap or whatever. But occasionally it's fun to get a set of things. A charm pack has, I think, 42 5-inch squares. And then you can get like a jelly roll, which is a whole bunch more. I usually don't get those because it's too many pieces of fabric. And as I said, I've already got a lot of scraps of fabric because that's mainly what I have. But sometimes if I'm especially wanting a particular kind of fabric, like this with the Liberty fabric, then, you know, you might have to get some fabric new, and a charm pack gives you coordinated, really pretty fabrics. Aren't those beautiful? So I'm already envisioning what I want to do with them. And as I said, I might cut out a bunch of leaves or flowers and then put them together, which is something I love doing. I have a lot of patterns that use that kind of thing. Then while I was at it, I got just a half yard measure of a couple of the most glorious fabrics. This one is Moda fabric. You guys, look at this. Is it not spectacular? I have become one of those people who is in love with fabric. I did not see this coming, but it goes from the blues, purples, reds, orange, and then wait for it. On the other side, I mean, it's too wide or I would show it to you all the way across. The purples, the oranges, into the yellows and the greens. Is this not magnificent? Yes, these are crying out to be stitched. And I love the butterflies. And I love the cone flowers and the daisies and everything about this fabric. I will undoubtedly be fussy cutting out some of these flowers. And it's so soft. It is the best cotton. I cannot even tell you. So this is amazing. And I am very, very happy. So this was one of my tiny pieces of fabric, you know, yardage. It's I don't know, like maybe a quarter yard, was it? Or half a yard? I think it was a half a yard. So I got that. And then one more. Because again, I never buy larger pieces of fabric, but hello, look at that. Glorious. Purples and pinks and oranges with just a few pops of teal and orange. This one, I'm thinking, you know, I could definitely line a bag with this. I can use some of it, you know, cut out as a little part of a bag or a pillow. But isn't that beautiful? So I got a little length of that and a little length of this one. And oh my goodness. This one is Whimsical Flower Garden by Hoffman. Yeah. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So this is a little catch up on some things that I have. Vintage, newer, but all coming into some upcoming projects. So, okay, one last thing. So this was one charm pack and they were having some kind of crazy deal on them. So I actually got two. They were way marked down. So I have this one in these colors, which I really enjoy. And then Gradients Euphoria by Moda. Okay, people, let's look at this one. What have we gotten here? This is so beautiful. So again, we've got 4 of each. These colors are spectacular. Actually, I think these are all different to some degree. Yeah. They just cut up a giant piece of fabric, I think. So they're all different. I am going to be loving using these. And again, I think that these will become petals on a flower or something like that. I'm just going to spread them out so you can see them. But I saw these and sometimes you see a fabric and your imagination just starts going because you know that you can make something incredibly beautiful out of them. And the fabric itself inspires you. Oh, I love it. So again, you know, I'm only sharing it with you people because y'all will understand the joy of opening up random squares of fabric that are going to become something fabulous. I love these. These would make, you know, maybe the center of a flower. they have that space. I could see actually stitching over this with some fabulous little lazy daisy stitches, but I'm loving that every single square of these is different. The watercolor fabric, I really love. Okay, these caught my eye too. Doesn't this look kind of like stained glass or something? It's so, so beautiful. Slightly different cuts of the fabric. Here's this one. So that's what that flower is. I'm saving up a whole bunch of flowers on black because I'm going to do some cool stuff with them. So this had a few patterns with a black background, and these are just going to go, and yeah, they're going to find expression in something cool. I think this is like similar to these other ones, but then in black. Yeah. Again, I'd love to stitch over some of that one. So we basically have some white background, some black background, and then some of these just vibrant. Look at that. I just think it's cool. So again, all right, my friends, this was your color explosion for the day. I hope you enjoyed seeing my, what we might call happy mail, along with one of my little hauls from this brand new Amanda Ann's antique and estate sale liquidation. I think that's all of it, but I will post them below. If you are ever in the Pensacola, Florida area, you can come by and see those yourself, and you can go online and order some of these fabrics if it has caught your fancy. So I hope to see you again in the studio very soon. I hope you have a wonderfully creative day. Bye-bye.